Hello, Internet, and thank you very much for tuning into this YouTube channel for exploring cloud native platform engineering, AI, and bunch of other very important things for the tech world. So, as we're closing down the year, so today I'm hosting two of the podcasts back to back, and hopefully things going very well when I'm hosting. So, podcast is all about cloud native architecture with how the networking components work together, and I'm really excited today because the guest joined me has an extensive experience in this domain, and she will be sharing her journey of cloud native networking and bunch of other wonderful, very firm technologies we're actually participating in. So without any further delay, let me go straight to some of the intro. So I'm joined by today Susie Su. Is a tech professional working as a DevOps manager and software operations architect at Signify or Philips Lighting. With a decade in the internet industry, Susie excels in networking, DevOps, and software architecture. Over 5 years, she gained recognition as a Kubernetes authority with an eagerly awaited book on Kubernetes networking architecture. As a trailblazing tech figure, Susie defies convention, sharing profound insights throughout articles, speeches, and events while championing women leadership. So, without any further delay, let me go straight to Susie. Thank you very much for being on the show. It's been pleasure, very much exciting about your journey. Over to you, your intro, and let's start the proceeding.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susie. I'm so very excited to be here as well. And thank you, Simon, for inviting me to be your podcast. Actually, it's my first time to enjoy podcast. If I can maybe do something improperly, but please just forgive me. Yeah. So maybe a little bit introduction. Yeah, I think yes, I'm definitely you introduced me. Yeah, I'm currently working as a DevOps manager and also software operations architect at Signify, formerly Philips Lighting. Yeah, and also Sam mentioned my book. Yeah, on the Kubernetes networking architecture. It will be published very soon. If you are curious, after our today's podcast, and you are curious about my book, just stay tuned. You can get something very soon.
Yes, absolutely. I would encourage folks to actually go to Susie's personal website and explore more content in there and some new things actually working behind the scene. So you can actually better know where Susie's spending most of the time when he's free. So we're speaking about most of the things here on this podcast. Let's start your journey of how you actually being into the tech first, and then how you chooses a domain that's looks like a very difficult domain if you actually want to excel into the networking. So first thing, how you actually get to the tech world. Give us some time travel on this your journey.
Okay, thank you for asking me this question. I actually it's a really good question. I really would like to share my experience in tech because I think maybe as you all know, tech women is quite rare. Especially look at my 10 years work experience. I'm quite proud of myself because my scope, my field is not only involved one specific field. For example, my scope, my entire 10 years work is kind of throughout from networking, DevOps, and then to the current networking, software architect. So it's completely different. But I benefit at the very beginning of my background. But my background when I was at uni, my background is computer science. So literally, when I'm jumping into the networking and also the tech industry, it's literally obviously, yeah, no doubt. But when I just gradually involved in tech industry, I just feel so very excited because previously I even didn't know these benefits because there are so many advantages and benefits, especially for women in tech. What I'm going to say, for example, like you use. I have to say, in our tech industry, the relationship, friendship is quite pure. we do not like others, like maybe financial, we need to be talkative, and even you are look nerd, doesn't matter. I know so many amazing, professionals, experts, they are nerd, but they are lovely person. They are really pure heart, they are warm hearted. Maybe somehow they speak very harsh words, but their hearts is completely very, amazing. And also, I'm really from just based on this stage, this podcast opportunity, I really wish to thank all my colleagues over the past 10 years. It kind of tolerate me, and somehow I'm not patient, and also you just teach me and mentor me a lot for amazing technologies. You are very generous. You are very generous to share this knowledge with me. I really feel fascinated, yeah, by all their talents. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And having important friends like this is very important for your career in the journey early on, because you're doing some stuff. Sometimes you actually get disappointed, like things are not actually go in a right direction the way I want it to be. Having
Mhm,
friends in the room who can tell you, now you're doing good job, make on your get continue with your journey. It's very important. So I really appreciated all the friends you actually work with. So now we can actually circle back our communications. So
mhm,
how you actually get into the networking portion in the IT sector. There's so many sector into it. You can be a software
mhm,
developer or AI engineer or DevOps
mhm,
engineer or even in a sysadmin role. There is so many
mhm,
roles. I spoke to my friends on the networking. So right now it's a
mhm,
very few people who are passionate around networking and they wanted to need the nitty gritty details. So especially like networking become a very complex subject when you actually thinking about
mhm,
starting your career from the networking point of
mhm,
angle. How your journey continues from this angle to right now
mhm.
where are you today?
Okay, so I will just tell you the truth. Very simple, because I'm quite tired of development. I've program coding. That's the reason why I choose the networking as my kind of a major and the industry. But later on, I just realized I have to say I'm good at coding and also mathematics. Um, at the very beginning, before I choose computer science as my bachelor degree. But I'm not interested in coding and also like a computer at all. But I have to say I'm really good at mathematics. And oh, okay, so many people they just said, oh, women, girls cannot, they are not good at, like what I say, the computer and mathematics, etc. I'm kind of person. If somebody just say no, I will just kind of challenging. I love challenging things. So if you said women are not good at, why? Who tell you? How you can just judge women are not good at the technology or the code, the internet, or etc. These technologies. I wish to, to kind of mitigate their bias, and I love this challenging stuff. And when I just, kind of dive into this industry, for me, easy, not difficult at all. And so, and also the reason why I'm kind of I would like to because if you know my experience over the past 1 year, actually I contributed to the tech woman, women in tech, this community, and also help them a lot, because I really wish to and also have a lot of webinars and not podcasts but the webinars. I really enjoy this mentorship. Because I'm really grateful when I see women's girls, especially like undergraduate students, they have doubts with themselves. They think, oh, tech woman is quite rare, and they are not good at it from the socials, voice. I just wish to be there, not because I'm a am an example, but I just want to share them. Be confident, believe in yourself. You can do anything. Stop to listen to someone, uh, just stop to hear this shit. Yeah, you can do it. Of course you can. You can do anything you wish. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's actually a phrase we actually can look at it, because I think if you're passionate about something, I think you have to do it because that's your passion. And as the hurdles comes along in your journey, you will find people who can motivate you compared to the
Yeah.
people who can actually distress you and asking you, you can't do these things. This is not it for you. So tech is and is not a gender specific thing. Anybody who
Yeah.
want to be a passionate and have eager to excel in their career in the tech, they have the freedom to do it. And that's where I think wonderful things happening right now. A lot of the tech women communities, conferences, webinars, podcast, and a bunch of many other things happening to make sure we have more and more women in the cloud native and in other
Yeah.
areas in the tech sector as well. And that's where
Yeah.
CMCF especially bringing in more and more people in there. And also there are some wonderful events happening. So I think CMCF is a very good figure and very good motivator if you are a girl and listening to this podcast and you see the same challenge Susie early on sees them, so you can actually listen to his story to actually navigate those challenges in next year and moving on with your journey. So I think now we can actually talk about some very important subjects in here
Yeah.
around networking, and your book is actually coming up. So
Yeah. Exactly.
without going to the cornerstone of how the networking components work, share some ideas. What motivated you to start writing a book? Where is it right now? When it's going to be published? And when people are going to start reading about it?
Okay, good. Thank you. I really love this question. So I think maybe because I have so many I mean, kind of tech stars, friends, they also the author to publish the more than 3 or 4 books. And I think we have a little bit of similarities, but we all have a different, motivation or purpose to publish their books. From my perspective, um, because in the tech, especially over this kind of for 10 years, I think it's quite long. It means I'm quite old now, but yeah. But anyway, I don't think I'm old. I'm still with a lot of energies. I wanna just maybe invent something to change the world a little bit in a positive way. But anyway, return to my books motivation, because at the very beginning of our career, we are kind of person like maybe at the very beginning, we seek jobs, right? And actively, or to submit your resume, to have interviews, something like that, or maybe just kind of a contact, reach out to the HR, so HR persons, and to get your amazing job. It's kind of like we need to attract the employers to fund us. So the reason why I think when we have the reputation in the world, why we just do not let them to like poach me. So I have to say, after my first job, every job I gained, I have been poached. Not I seek job actively, because this kind of a reputation. At that moment, I didn't publish my book, because I think maybe a little bit is kind of ambitions target for me, because I hope, um, 10 years ago, I think my English is not good, not proficient, not qualified. We qualified within publishing a English version book. But at that moment, there's kind of seed in my heart. I really wish one day I can publish the English version book, not just my mother tongue, Chinese. So it's quite challenging, because why? Because we know in the world, um, that English is the most popular words, and also the most amazing knowledge sharing by English. So I benefit a lot, especially for tech. especially you wish to be professional, or you want to be the experts, you want to be the influential person in this tech industry, your English must be good. Otherwise, how you can communicate with others and also read the documentations, and it's not just only English books. And also, we have technology changed dramatically and very fast. So we have to, kind of have the good command of English language. So is the reason why, after, it's quite a long term. And long term, after 10 years, I think now I'm qualified with English and I can publish my book. Definitely after I publish my book, and my mother tongue is Chinese, so I can get two versions of a book. You know, I have to say, in China, we have 1.4 billion populations. So if I got a little bit success, and my audience, my reader will be amazing number, enormous. I really, looking forward to my books published. And the second, because, it's not arrogant, because when you believe in yourself, not just because I without reason, I just trust myself or be confident, because with the 10 years working experience, also is throughout. I have to say throughout almost any field of the internet. So I'm really confident with my 10 years working experience, and also I study hard and I work hard. So I do not, after 10 years, I need to find my job just, with my CV. I wish them just look my book, what I shared with the world. And, if I can become the bestseller on the, for example, like my current ones, upcoming books, Kubernetes networking architecture. Wow, for me, I feel so very exciting. It's so very excited. Yeah. So it means my books is my CV. Yeah, I think roughly these the reasons.
Yes,
And
absolutely,
sir,
absolutely. That's
yeah, yeah. And I have to tell you, maybe but it's not like just to make you feel scared, but not at all. But I have to tell you, write a book. Oh, it's really, you need to invest a lot of time, hard work. And also for our technical book, it's not like a financial book. So we need to do the experiment to prove your ideas or your perspectives is correct. And this kind of thing, oh my gosh. Oh, I couldn't, for our, in our tech industry, I still remember because the very beginning of my scope is networking. So, the TCP IP, this big, very thick book. When I think about these kinds of experts, they publish that book. Wow, compared with my book is around 300 pages, but their book is more than 500 and 10,000 pages. Oh my God. I really, I admire them a lot. They could, write huge, it's similar like, what I say, the networking Holy Bible, in our technical industry. Oh, this kind of person is so amazing. So I really, admire them and take them as an example. But, for the starting part, yeah, just very, it's quite a small book. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And I think like as you during the conversation is actually
Mhm.
outreaching, like it's very important to actually excel your career in a different way that people can
Mhm.
actually see your work in different places. So either
Mhm.
you can actually do a conference talk or some of the different places to spoke about the technology you enjoy time or investing time in. And book
Mhm.
is one of the very valuable resource that actually tells you how much of the knowledge you have in particular domain and how you actually portray this knowledge to the world, because you are not writing book for yourself. You wanted to use people use your words to educate themselves around the
Mhm.
technology. So that's a super motivation for anyone, because that's where I see a lot of folks, a lot of my friends, Mauricio
Yeah.
Salatino Salavo actually
Yes.
write a
Okay.
book
Mm-hmm.
platform engineering on Kubernetes. I think it's available on
Mm-hmm.
AWS, Amazon as well, for you people
Mm-hmm.
can download it well. So I think this is, I think I see more and more, like more and more friend actually interested in
Mm-hmm.
writing a book, and that's where I think you can actually evaluate yourself as well. Like you spending 4 or 5 years in particular domain, then you start
Mm-hmm.
writing thing, and then you start noticing, oh, this thing when I'm notice the writing, I need to
Mm-hmm.
pass more knowledge around it. The book is
Exactly.
also a self-evaluator of yourself as
Mm-hmm.
well. And as you speak, like I think anything start with the networking. Either you like it or dislike it. Even you live in the
Mm-hmm.
virtualization era. First thing
Mm-hmm.
first, networking, compute, and storage. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Compute, network storage, in cloud native or a containers word as well. So can you
Mm-hmm.
draw? Now we can actually move our conversation toward. There's a two way of looking at the networking, the prior
Mm-hmm.
model of data center in the cloud or virtual machines, and now the new word of containerization. So you can
Exactly.
think about which portion you actually covered a lot in your book compared to the other, and what
Mm-hmm.
other actually things you actually covered in this book, and draw some points for people who are actually listening to us right now.
Okay. Oh, I think I'm going to be very confident to speak it out because I think I'm growing up over my career. I'm growing up with the history. What does it mean? Okay, let me tell you. So as I mentioned, the networking at the very beginning, I'm working in as the kind of top three internet service provider. So it means like for example in the UK, it's similar the company as BT, and also Vodafone. Yeah, this kind of company kind of is called the internet service provider. So I work for this company. Yeah, and I the senior network engineer and also the networking team leader. So it means I'm I'm the key person to manage the whole data center and the internet. For the everything you enjoyed today, the channel, the networking channel. Without my effort, you cannot to enjoy the internet. You cannot get the network connection. So it's what I do. And as I mentioned, after the 3 years, I dramatically changed my job because it's not dramatically. I also benefit my networking background, and then I get into the system, for example, like Linux system. Engineer. So you could call it DevOps development because when I'm at uni, I have 4 years development skills. And also I remember when I at uni, I get along with like I'm really familiar with the Android. Yeah, Android. Yeah, and the Java. And also I just I made I made a software. It's called the stock alarm. For me to to invest the money into the stock market, so I can get the alarm. For example, like the stock. I think definitely so far you can get this stock alarm. From the from the Apple Store or Google Store. But 14 years ago, I independently developed this software for myself, this application for myself. It can do some financial investment. It helped me a lot. It's kind of take advantage for technology to help me earn money. It's kind of sleeping money. When you sleep, you still get money. It is something, yeah, more. And what, yeah. So, and then I go to the DevOps, right? And finally, I today this over the past 5 years, I become the software architecture. So what does it mean? It means I kind of know the whole picture of from the DC physical networking to the DevOps and cloud. Definitely, AWS, Alibaba Cloud, Azure, every clouds, and then container content orchestration or container technologies so far now. So you see, I grew up with the history. yeah, this I think is the one of my strengths. I know everything. I need little things of this Kubernetes architecture. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think I totally agree with you because when you actually come up, actually climb the ladder from networking to become
Mm-hmm.
you know a bit of how the application, how to write an application as a code and deploy into the machine, and how the machine actually direct traffic from the outside of the network and actually consume your application. So you actually have a very full picture, so how
Mm-hmm.
the complete networking model works, because some
Yeah.
folks has a very good understanding of how they set up IPs internally, but when you
Mm-hmm.
deploy application on top of it, that's another
Mm-hmm.
piece of networking that actually basically your front end
Mm-hmm.
communicate with back end and back end communicate with databases, and then you actually have some cache, Redis cache, and then you need a network where people from rest of the world communicate your app via
Mm-hmm.
DNS, and that you
Mm-hmm.
actually runs your application with the DNS, and that behind the
Mm-hmm.
scene, thousands of microservices work asynchronously to achieve a task, and then you basically have a front layer or the device machine that's communicating with
Yeah.
your ISP provider to
Mm.
actually communicate. So that's knowledge, like you're actually mentioning, is super important to become a successful network engineer. Because usually my time in university, so I
Mm-hmm.
saw folks spending a lot of time in ISPs or IPs, but they
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
to understand how the development piece work. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really shines your skills compared to the others, because you know the different ladder and different aspect of the networking domain as well. So can you I think now we're going to circle back to communication because you have extensive knowledge in there. So how you
Mm-hmm.
find similarities between the existing world of 20, I think 12, 14 years ago, when you're actually jumping into the networking
Mm-hmm.
model, how you think
Yeah.
something different or something relates with Kubernetes or cloud native way of networking as we
Mm-hmm.
work with networks devices today?
Okay. Oh, I think maybe we can check so when Kubernetes released, because previously it's just an internal, project,
It's
kind of a,
around 2014, I think, is the first
yeah,
release.
2014. I remember it's 2015. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but anyway, but previously, Kubernetes it already exists before, they released the Kubernetes, because previously it's kind of one of the Google's project. It's an internal project, the Kubernetes. And then, yeah, anyway, in 2020, 2014 or 2015, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of around 7 years ago. Oh, no, 8 years ago. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm not involved in, like DevOps. I'm still in the networking part. Yeah. But anyway, so it means, so, it's a perfect time match. As the Kubernetes released, I jump into the DevOps industry. So, kind of, quite amazing, dramatically different, my networking part only focus on this ISP, this field, but then jump into the, like application and operations development, yeah, this part, like backend, yeah. It's kind of if you regard it, we have IaaS this layer, and we have SaaS layer, right? Infrastructure and software, and my at the very beginning of my working experience, I mean the first 3 years, you could regard it as IaaS this layer, and then after 3 years with the Kubernetes release, I'm kind of jumping into the IaaS layer. Yeah. So what I see, I found is so very fascinating. I mean about the Kubernetes networking architecture, because you know why? Because it's completely, if yeah, I know, because previously I do not have experience, to work with the Kubernetes community. But I do think I'm really confident if I do have this opportunity before, I think I will be the game maker. I will be the person, to design this Kubernetes networking architecture, because it's completely my, my scope and my experience, my knowledge. I would really love to, to be the one of the designer of this Kubernetes networking architecture. But unfortunately not, because my age is so young. But anyway, and then I'm really fortunately, and also fortunately, I jumped into the DevOps industry, so it means I can get along with the Kubernetes container, this technology. And when I just see these things, wow, it's my expertise. And when I just ignore the, everything just similar, because Kubernetes is running on Linux. For me previously, I provide the environment or infrastructure to support Linux running, and then I come to like Kubernetes networking is based on the Linux to support Kubernetes network running. So it's completely so many similarities between the infrastructure between the Linux and the Linux between the Kubernetes. So the reason why I think so far the current, I think the most astonishing features of a Kubernetes networking architecture, I have to tell you, previously we focused on like physical networking connections and also Linux connections a lot, or even if we want to release the application, it spend a lot of energies, and also invest the efforts, work with the networking team and DevOps team, development team, and yeah, there's so many things. But no, we have this kind of container technology. Things become amazing differently, and also the Kubernetes, I have to say, is the most difference between Docker and Kubernetes is there is Kubernetes networking, because for Docker we are just achieved from networking perspective. For Docker, it's kind of what it's just like we say it's like give the container a port number. I mean, not a POD, it's a port number. It's like a TCP IP, give this IP, give the port, we connect this container directly. So it's just one layer of networking, we call it NAT, to achieve it. So that's it. But for Kubernetes network, wow, it dramatically changes the structure, the architecture of the whole life cycle of applications. For example, like we do not care about for previously for DC era. We need to care about the infrastructure, physical devices. Even somehow I have to tell you, it's quite an annoying story, because at the very beginning, when I'm a very beginner networking engineer, I need to go to the data center. It's where is always in the rural, in the countryside, and far away from downtown. And we somehow need to go to the office and to use a console, this kind of computer, to connect the devices, to troubleshooting, to do anything with the machines waving and the fans. It's so very annoying. I really hate this experience. So at that moment, I have kind of a seed in my heart. I really hope one day we do not need to we can be far away from the data center and these physical machines, and we can dramatically fully remote control them. And then you see cloud like AWS, Alibaba, etc., Azure, this kind of cloud provider, when they come up and it solve this problem. We do not need to care about the infrastructure. We do not focus on like international connection channel, etc. This kind of public cloud provider, they can do anything for you. Actually, their concept or their source is not quite new. They are not a pioneer. because previously for ISP, I worked for the top ISP company in China, and I have to tell you, they have it's called private, or it's called like enterprise level cloud provider. So they already have this kind of cloud provider, but they serve the specific customers. So we call the private cloud providers. But you see, AWS and Alibaba, this cloud, they launched the public cloud providers. So game change. So now for our, the end customers, for you and me, or for the companies, they can just take advantage of cloud providers to establish IaaS, I mean infrastructures, this layer. And for us, we for Kubernetes networking, you know what? It's completely different. Docker. Why? Because for Kubernetes itself have its independent robust and strong networking architecture. So it can achieve so many things. For example, like as my book said, kind of summarized my book. What is Kubernetes networking architecture? It's kind of a service network over the pod network over node network. So it's kind of a network over network and over network. It's kind of three package, to get it together. Yeah. Some overlay network. Yeah. What I'm going to say. So it means forgot the cloud providers. They can be the traditional infrastructure layer, and to provide the devices or capabilities. They just only need to provide our service. Definitely, there is a structure, there is a model of Kubernetes networking. Not Kubernetes networking, it's a structure of Kubernetes. Mode of Kubernetes is called serverless, right? We just, leave it like this cloud provider provide the serverless devices capabilities. We will only focus on our deployment and applications. It means we are, when things become easy, become simple. I mean, the structure becomes simple. So it means, wow, we can achieve millions of applications or billions of applications easily with the Kubernetes networking architecture, because it makes our life easier. We do not need to care about the infrastructure layer anymore. We just only take advantage. We focus on the microservice. We care about the underlying theory and the logic of the application, or like a high priority not high priority, high availability and scalability is what we need to focus on. We only need focusing on. I forgot the networking. Actually, the simple is the great. So it's the Kubernetes networking bring us to here. So it's the reason why most of them, they if you are not in the networking field, you think, oh, we do not need to care about networking, right? But when something happened related to networking, oh my gosh, it's a big problem. Nobody, most of the people cannot, fix this issue. Yeah, so I think it's good. It's also the reason why we have quite a robust, Kubernetes networking architecture. Otherwise, if we suffered, the like networking, we regard like underlying network that much, it won't be the target for anyone, especially for the container technology or for DevOps or for developers. It's not our deal. We need to focus on like let the DevOps focus on their codes. Let developer focus on their code, and let the DevOps do like to maintain to I think because not from the manager's perspective, just from technical perspective, what's the kind of a world for us, or how can to make us or regard us like professionals. It's your platform. You even didn't know, do not need anyone to maintain it. Yeah, it can be maintained, automatically, or there's no zero downtime. So, but from a manager's perspective, they say, what are you doing? I didn't see you work hard, but I know I enjoy my platform network, everything just, zero downtime. 100% availability. But from maybe manager's perspective, oh, what are you doing? But for us, it's a big achievement. Zero downtime. You even ignore us. You even didn't know we are exist. It's the, what should I say? It's kind of the high level, you know, yeah,
Yes,
this kind of,
absolutely.
yeah.
And as you mentioned, like is
Mm-hmm,
networking is one of those layers. Like people say, "Oh, forget about it," and when
mm-hmm,
something happens, everyone in the company will start investigating the issue. What's going to happen wrong? It's one of those security and networking is one of those domains you
mm-hmm,
start caring about a lot when the incident happened, and you start
mm-hmm,
ignoring it from the day zero one, and you start talking about applications, how to deploy application, how to manage the infrastructure, how to manage the infrastructure automation and tooling, and you forget about this layer. And as you mentioned, like I think right now we live in the world where the microservices are actually taking the world by storm. Previously, we have a monolithic app, just a one box with all the front end, back end, Redis database, all encapsulated in here. So people don't worry about they actually the front end they actually load balancer in front of those monolithic apps, and then you actually have a DNS to route your traffic to that load balancer, and then only
mm-hmm,
one box that actually be generating the traffic. But in a
mm-hmm.
network, is living in a world where thousands of microservices
Yeah.
might be you to have tens of thousands of microservices deployed somewhere. So there's
Mm-hmm,
one microservices we're actually using that's called video streaming. So
mm-hmm,
that's where the microservices architecture, then the networking is no hide away from you, because that's become a very critical component in the networking layer, because those microservices communicate via networking, or I think layer 4 or
mm-hmm.
layer 7,
Yeah.
and you just start speaking with it. And now I see in Kubernetes become so difficult because it has generated some very innovative ways to do networking behind the scene. And I think one of the innovative ways is you to use Berkeley packet filtering. Basically, I think the motion was like like if you need something out of the box in Linux kernel, you
Mm-hmm.
go into the Linux kernel, extend its functionality. That's take I think a year to do so. And right now the eBPF is doing you can actually bypass some of the rule or extend Linux kernel functionality on the fly to do networking
Mm-hmm.
things. And that's where the Cilium from Isovalent company is becoming a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
way for everyone. If you look at the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
GKE, AKS,
Yeah.
EKS,
Mm-hmm.
OpenShift,
Mm-hmm.
all working on the
Exactly.
Cilium because of that simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we can circle back to your communication. What is the future of networking? Become of the
Okay.
eBPF side. I saw some your
Mm-hmm.
wonderful article on how you can
Mm-hmm.
relate or correlate on some of the use cases for AI and networking.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I have to tell you, I think maybe just 8 years ago or 10 years ago, AI's kind of a feature has already been applied in the networking structure. But maybe you just have never heard it. But fortunately, I'm in the top, ISP companies. So it means no matter which kind of, what I say, the cutting edge technology, come up, we will be the person. My Excel companies will be the first company. We will be the first engineer to get this technology, and also the devices providers. They will come to us to advise, to kind of promote their technologies and also their devices, right? Or equipment, something like. So I benefit this a lot. Just one. So it's just 10 years ago, but now you see the AIs. Kind of we are experiencing. the explosion of AI technologies. You couldn't imagine. Something related to AI. Oh my gosh. Because you may also find my articles, on my website, with my nickname, Expert Sue. I shared a lot of things related to AI technologies, especially in for DevOps and also for IoT, because over my past 5 years, I'm in the IoT industry. For example, like Olympics sports, Olympics games venue, how they connect each other, the lighting stuff, and also, like the what I say, the like, if you live in London, London Tower and the landmark in London, everything, it can integrated this IoT platform, which is I developed. Yeah. So I just feel, oh, it's astonishing. It's about the IoT part. But return to your question, what I'm going to say, yeah,
That's we were speaking
sorry,
about, I think, eBPF in particular.
yeah,
Some words about how you think like eBPF is extending the networking capability, and plus some as you speak about some of the things the AI can do, and people are thinking how AI
oh,
can enhance networking.
oh, I got it. Okay, somehow when I, answer your questions, I forgot what you asked me. Okay, anyway, I remember your question. What I'm going to say. So what's the new in the future? What kind of net technology, or especially for AI technology, can affect the networking industry? Let me tell you. So far, there's many subfields of AI. For example, like machine learning, NLP, and image recognition, etc. So for what I'm going to say, take one for example, machine learning. So it has been applied in the networking industry kind of for 10 years ago. But now the technology become more and more mature. So it means we can take advantage of this machine learning very much. We can also, like machine learning includes deep learning. And we also, kind of take advantage of this technology. What we can do? Think about it, especially like internet service provider, or for example, like a cloud provider, like AWS, or like Alibaba, Asia, these big firms, cloud providers. What they can do? We are kind of like suffer the problem, like the networking attack, right? And also like because for networking, it's not just like make sure the connection of your the internet connection. It also related to the security, like cybersecurity and information security. Oh my gosh, it's so very complex. Yeah, they're little bit things we are just living, we think our life is easy and we do not care about, security. You didn't know how many cybersecurity experts, what they are dealing with, what they are protecting you. Otherwise, you couldn't remember, you couldn't, enjoy this quite a peaceful life, honestly. So AI, this machine learning, what they can do? So they can, because previously do the troubleshooting related to networking, or instead of, for example, like DDoS, or this kind of attack, something more detected. This machine learning, they can recognize, they can deep learning, and they can recognize previously, or they didn't know, oh, it's the attack. But after a lot of the times, train the data, they recognize, oh, 99% it will be the problem is the attack, or maybe something more. And what they can do, because previously we just recognize the problem, but not to fix the problem. Yeah, I mean urgent problem, automatically. But now with the AI technology, take advantage of machine learning and the deep learning, you can just avoid the attacks immediately. We are human. We need sleep. But the machine, they do not need sleep. They work for 24/7 hours. Yeah. So that's it. There is something they can do. And also something more. I can also tell you, like, for example, like, image recognition. Similar like, the OpenAI is launched their, what's the name? DALL-E 3. It's a very powerful image recognition model. What they can do? So it means, for example, like I mentioned, a DC, right? A data center, these devices and everything, right? But okay, also for example, like a production line. Yeah, production lines, this image recognition can do the quality checks. But for data centers, they can, not just, for example, like the temperature and something issue, or even some earthquake, they can help, with the image recognition to help move, like the machine equipment. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
It's something really astonishing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. AI has some wonderful use cases, as you're
Hmm.
mentioning, in troubleshooting specifically. And I
Yeah.
think you can basically extend, like right now, if you can look at the Kubernetes network architecture, there's
Yes.
IPVS, IP table, and eBPF. So
Hmm.
you can
Hmm.
actually add some AI, like in which
Hmm.
scenario I can go with the eBPF versus IP table, because sometimes it's far
Hmm.
easier in your
Yeah.
cases to become an IP table one, because that's a built-in functionality compared to the
Hmm.
eBPF, plus some
Hmm.
troubleshooting like your talk communication, your load balancer is not
Hmm.
working in Kubernetes, and AI can actually snap the data when
Hmm.
things go wrong. Who,
Hmm.
what was the last call? Who made some error? They fix
Hmm.
things up. They
Hmm.
detects you, alert you, and things happen, and
Yeah.
you can enjoy the
Exactly.
sleep. That's a
Yeah.
very beyond beyond, like is some one of the some very fascinating use cases as well. But we are
Hmm.
top of the hour, Susie. Really enjoy. Don't want to interrupt you, but you have a
Ah,
super knowledge. We can keep on
wow.
hours.
1 hour. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So before I let you go,
Hmm.
2024 is actually just about
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. Tell us where you
Yeah.
will be busy next
Hmm.
2024, and how
Hmm.
folks who are actually watching Nuran now can meet you in person in some of the conference you are attending in 2024.
Oh, okay. As you know, I do have some events, but it's a kind of secret. But anyway, I will tell you. I have, because last month, it's around the 29th this November. I was so fortunately, and so also it was a real pleasure to be invited to deliver speech at the Tech Summit, London 2023. So just because of this, actually, you can also get these details on my website, executesu.com. And yeah, you know what I meant? I just felt so very grateful because I don't know why they choose me. And because on the same stage, there's Google's VP, Google's head, and also the DeepMinder's AI experts, and also like the SAP's VP. This kind of big shot in the UK market, in the UK tech industry. I'm so fortunate to be selected to deliver the topic related to AI revolution and focusing on the IoT security and and the workforce, how AI can affect our life. I'm really lucky. I was really lucky and might the most audience in my venue, and I just delivered a speech on the main stage at the two call. So I think just because of this, I get a little bit reputation in the UK markets. So it mean so there is someone organizer another similar quite a astonishing event. They invite me to be their speaker in March 2024. So I think you can stay tuned. I will share something more on my website.
Thanks. That's super cool to hear as well. And Susie has done wonderful job this year, actually being on some speakership opportunities. I actually added all the link in the YouTube description. You can click on it and see what are the talks Susie did this year, and where actually those actually will be. You can watch after the recording as well. And his book is coming up. Don't want to actually stay have to be updated. So Here's the link where you can actually look at all the things Susie will be doing for the next year. But book is the portion I really love. Definitely want to learn more from you. And it's been a
Mhm,
super wonderful 1 hour conversation with you. I hope to
mhm.
interact with more and more with you.
Thank you.
This channel consider for the
Mhm,
next year as well. And
mhm,
once again, thanks a lot, Susie. And I believe before I let you go, any
mhm,
further influential words for tech or tech with women's word, and plus
mhm.
beginners who wanted to be into the
Mhm,
tech, some
mhm.
in some words for them.
You okay. Is that question? Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. No, you just wrap winding up. What's your thoughts that you want to
Yeah.
share with individuals who wanted to join the tech world in 2024, and plus women who want to be more active in this space?
Yeah. Okay. I think definitely there is women in tech, this community, and also for example, like if you are quite ambitious tech woman, you can also care about like I'm the member of Founder One in the UK market. It's like the leadership and to train your found entrepreneurship, this kind of community. It kind of open my mind, this community. I really love it. So not only for I have to say, in the world, around the world, tech women, they are become more and more powerful, and they are become the really what I say, the very most important part in the world. And I'm really looking forward more and more tech women, join in the community and to be the powerful person, and also to tell, not to tell someone, not to, to uh, what you are doing is kind of an example. So you can propagate this experience or your contribution to the tech industry. I really love, to contribute to these things in 2024. Just go ahead and continue to do that, because because there's a little bit of things I have to tell you. In tech industry, it's kind of one, maybe it depend on different country, but around the world, it's kind of 1 to 10. One one women, one woman or one girl, and 10 men. So I have to just tell you this. Quite, we are kind of a minority, but things is change with our our effort, our contributions. I hope one day we can become, roughly 5 to 5. It's really an astonishing result. I really looking forward. Yeah, it's also the reason why it's my motivation to give me energy to contribute to the world, the tech world, to let the tech women speak out. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Absolutely. That's a great way to end the conversation here as well. And definitely, and from this part of the world in Asia, I definitely want to see more women like Susie who actually join us, share their journey, share their leadership in these domains where they were working on. So Susie will definitely help me out so I can reach more women in this space and start talking to the world about their stories in 2024 as well. So thank you very much once again. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I enjoy every minute of it. So here's the website once again before we wrap up, and all the links to Susie's talk is actually all in this channel. So wonderful. Thank you very much. Stay connected, and we'll be meeting again, I think 1 minute from now on another podcast. So stay tuned to this channel. Thank you very much, Susie. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Really enjoy talking to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so very much. Bye bye.